I really feel like the odd person out. I'm really, really humbled to be here. I mean, I'm literally just a guy with his phone. I first want to honor not only everybody here that came before me, but everybody who's ever influenced me. I believe that everything we do, maybe with the exception of Dan, who broke my rule, where I think that everything is a remix. I think that nothing that he does is a remix. So you remember that when I start talking about it. You know, when you travel, you see a lot of signs as a photographer, and you see a lot of these signs in the airport. And as I was contemplating what to say and talk about, I just dropped that B. And I thought, you know what, if there's anything I can leave people with, especially now, right now, damn, I want to pick up a pen and draw, even though I can't draw worth a crap. I mean, I really want to be an artist right now, right? I'm really, really. And to me, that's the whole point of this, of what I want to say. I want to be able to empower you to not leave any of your belongings, your longings unattended, okay, as we go. I believe in all of us, there's a visual storyteller waiting to emerge. I really do believe that, right? But I'm the guy with the phone, and my mission here, if there's anything I can do today as a photographer who spent his life as a photographer, who works only in mobile now, if there's any message, right? Now I can take this message globally. If we can turn the camera from ourselves, please, out into the world instead, right? I think we would make a better world. From now on, there's no more pictures of your food, your cappuccino latte, or selfie. Just, it's gone, it's over, right? It's done today, okay? We need to point the phones outward. It's okay, it's immaturity, right? It's an immature thing, and when we're immature, we care about ourselves. But as we mature as a society with these devices, I want you to think about that. Now, this is just a brief history of me. You don't know me, but you know, there we go. Okay, so I want you all to do something, okay? I want you all to do something with me right now. Now, not everybody's gonna do it, I know that, but I want to try and get everybody to do it. Everybody in this room who has a telephone, some of you are on them right now, I can see you. I want you to take out your phone, please, okay? It's not that big of a chore, it's right next to you, right, somewhere, okay? And some of you are saying, oh my God, this is the stupidest idea ever. I hate when people at conferences do this. Okay, your phones are out, okay? Unlock your phone, get it ready, okay? Now, what's happening right now is resistance. Those of you that are not doing this are resisting. No, I'm serious. What I want to break here today is your resistance. Your resistance not to do what you want to do. Okay? You want to do, so they're out, right? Hold them up. Everybody hold up their phone. Oh my God, right? Okay? They're ready. I want all of you here. I don't just take a picture. Literally, I'm not kidding you. Take a picture. Don't point it at yourselves. Point it up here, right? Take a picture. Those of you that aren't doing it are resisting. That's what I want to break. What are you afraid of? It's going to be shit. It's okay. You don't need to post it anywhere. But take the picture. Okay? Good. Look, you literally have broken resistance. Resistance will keep you from doing so much that you want to as a storyteller. Now, here comes the hard part. That was the easy part. I mean it. First of all, I do want to let you know that those were masterpieces. But do you know why they were? No, really. Think of it. What is the purpose of a rough draft? A purpose of a rough draft is to be rough. And in that, it is perfect. It has served its purpose. Your first picture is just a quick rough draft to break resistance. It's a masterpiece, okay? But here, hand your phone to the person to your right. No, really. I want you to feel something. Okay, some of you aren't doing it. No, you must feel this. Hand your phone to the person to your right. It's gonna be okay, I promise. Really, okay? Do you see how disruptive that? You guys are like, oh, I can't do it. Oh. I mean, I'm just asking you to do a simple thing, okay? Okay, that's gotta be very, very uncomfortable, isn't it? Okay? Now, okay, I'll make you a lesson. Yeah, look, people didn't even have to wait for me to ask. You're handing them back already. Good. You can give them back. And this is where I'm going to start to get a little serious. I don't think there has ever been a device, a platform, that delivers story to people that has ever been so personal. Think about that. Think about how, it was like me asking you to chop your right hand off and give it to the person on your left. Very uncomfortable. So what I want you to think about is what we put in that box matters. Okay, it matters. It matters a lot. And I don't think we think enough about what we put in that box. And I think it's important that we do, right? I'm a photographer. And by the way, in like the 80s, these pants were the stuff, right? These acid wash pants. Just to let you know, I was in fashion back then. Okay? But this is us now, right? This is us, right? I don't know how many of your leaders do this, but we've got ours, okay? And I think that we're witnessing the dawn of an image sphere. This is our time as photographers. For the first time in my whole career, I don't get introduced as, this is my photographer, right? Now I have a name. Now writers come to me and ask, will you please work on this with me, right? And it's a wonderful feeling to have, in some sense, the value of images. They've always been important, there's no question, we can't deny that. But we're certainly entering, this is the professor in me coming out, right? We're certainly entering an era where the game has changed and where the tools available to transmit our message are at our fingertips, whether they are a pen and paper on a wall or whether they're the phone in your hand, right? But we're witnessing this, right? This is when I win the Nobel Peace Prize for this formula, you will know you heard it here first, right? This is my kitten formula. Knowledge, okay? You have more access to knowledge than leaders of the free world did in the early 90s. Think about that. That is powerful, right? Information and technology, all of these things will mix together to the N, which are new narratives, right? Which are new ways to tell stories. And I just want you to begin to think about that, right? As photographers, we're like, oh shit, here comes everybody, right? That's exactly what we think. Here comes everybody. But, right, and this is, I found this statistic like last week, it's probably double that. And with you guys taking pictures in here right now, it's probably even more, right? This is Eric Kessel's, an artist who printed out every picture uploaded to Flickr in a single day. And this is only one of several rooms, and you could go in there and swim in the images. It was absolutely scary and stunning at the same time, right? We share more than 4 billion things each day. And in every 2 days, we create as much information as we did from the dawn of civilization till 2003. That's outrageous to me, right? But, right, the Sturgeon's law, it was a law, and then Wikipedia says, well, it's not a law, it's really a revelation. Well, whatever it is, I love it, and I believe it, right? And that's what it looks like. My job today, in the next few minutes, is to get some of you, most of you, with your camera phones, from here to here, okay? That's where we want to move, okay? We don't want to be the part of the 90%. We want to be part of the 10% that create stories, no matter what they are, no matter what medium you use, that are meaningful and unforgettable. And we've heard some of those stories here today, and we've seen people from various disciplines give us those stories, right? Listen, I have a guitar. I'm no Jimi Hendrix, right? You have a camera phone. You're no photographer, believe me, right? But, I'm not just gonna leave you out there adrift. I'm going to teach you in the next few minutes how to be a better photographer. If visuals are something that you want to use to tell your story, and even if you don't think you want to, try. Sometimes the best story is a beautiful picture of your parents or your sister or your brother or your friend. That can be a wonderful story. Doing what Wendy does on a visual with visuals is absolutely stunning, right? So we're going to get to work, right? We also have no idea what new piece of technology will come and change everything. If this was 1980, if it was 80s, early 90s, and I stood up and I talked about a device like this that could take you all over the world, and you guys would have burned me at the stake as some kind of witch, really. And think about it, and we have no idea what's coming next. We know that, that's just the playing field. But none of that matters. This is what matters, right? The eye is what survives. Ansel Adams said it better than I ever could, right? He trusts that the creative eye will survive no matter what technological innovations may develop. Because basically, this is just all crap, right? But it is a way to deliver, right, our message, and a way that's increasingly more global and available to more people than ever. But the thing that matters, the thing that survives is our eye, is our passion to tell stories, right? And how we develop that eye, the practice that we can do today, here today, and tomorrow, and the next day, right? As we stop focusing on our latte foam, right, and start thinking about stories, is realizing that the elements of good storytelling are eternal, and you know that, right? Ideas are cheap. Everybody in here has an idea for $1 million company that would probably work. But you know what's stopping you? You just won't get off your ass and do anything about it, right? It's true. Everybody has great ideas, right? Turning ideas into something is hard effing work. Doing the work, it's all about doing the work, right? And if you can take one step, right? Like just, hey, the guy's asking me to take out my phone. I'll take out my phone. Take a picture. Okay, right? You need to break down this idea of resistance, no matter what it is. And everybody has a different kind of resistance on a different kind of platform with a different kind of tool. That's okay. And life balance is overrated, man. You know, if I'm out shooting on the street and my daughter needs to be picked up from school, listen, she'll survive. She'll be fine. It'll make her stronger. It'll make her a stronger person. I got to do my thing. And sometimes you got to do your thing, right? Your husband, your spouse, your kid, they'll survive. They'll be okay, right? Go deep in the well. Everybody that's been up here, and a lot of you in the audience knows what that is. Man, when I wanted to be a photographer, I read every book, I did everything. Fall down the rabbit hole. It's really, really important. I'm not kidding you. I feel so inspired right now to draw. I may just fall down that rabbit hole. You may never see me again, or if I ever do emerge, I may be an artist, right? So let's get to work. Okay, we're going to do some work here. So these are some tricks, right? This is all based, this is what I do. I take pictures on my phone on the street. That's what I do. So here's how you can do some of that better, and maybe use it for whatever you're doing, right? So there's something called the Jana Graph, okay? And the Jana Graph is this. Robert Capa once said, if your pictures aren't good enough, you're not close enough, right? So when I'm on the street, and I'm standing next to someone I want to take a picture of, and I need to get a little closer, I just go like this. Snap, snap, snap. It's the Jana Graph. I'm very serious. Now, if you think these techniques aren't real, Wendy saw me do them. She's like, what are you doing? We were on the street, and I showed her a few things, right? And notice, well, okay, the Jana Graph. And I mean, you don't have to be leashed to your tool like I am, but Dan has a pen in his pocket all the time. Wendy has her tools with her. Be ready, people, be ready. I'm from Berkeley, we cuss, and we do all kinds of crazy things, right? The ask. I dare you to go up. Now, when I photograph someone, it's usually someone I'd love to sit down and have coffee with. That's the kind of people I'm drawn to. And often I will do that, right? I've been on 6th Street and just like, I must have coffee with you. I challenge some of you the next time you are where you are to just go up to someone and ask them, can I take your picture? Right? Try that. It's wonderful, wonderful practice. It breaks many, many barriers, right? And it gets you past resistance. The earbud, oh my gosh, if you really, like, this is not a prop, these are like real. Because when I want to take pictures on the street, I just go like this. Now nobody pays attention to me at all. I don't even exist right now. Really, this is like the invisible man. Nobody sees me. It's true. You're invisible. Nobody sees you when I can go like this and connect these things and just shoot away. And people have no idea what's going on, right? That's the earbud. That's really, really good practice. I mean, this picture's taken, all these pictures are taken just like that. All of these on my phone using all of these techniques. Oh, the itch is awesome. Okay, you're walking down the street and somebody's coming up to you, or you see something you want to photograph, and then you go like this, you tap, and then you just itch like this. And it looks like you were just like going up, you shoot, and then you itch. It works wonders. I'm serious. Okay, this is really the best one. From now on, there's only really 3 rules today. No latte foam, no pictures of your food on Instagram, right? Here's the 3rd one. From here on out, when you turn your phone on and you're ready to take a picture, no longer is this the pose for a picture. It doesn't work. Because the moment you do that, no matter what context you're in a journalistic context, let me tell you something. When I shot film, I know many of you don't know what that is, but there was this thing called film and all these kinds of things. And I was photographing people, sometimes important people. And I was there. We used to run out of film. And you had to stop and rewind, and pull it out, and put new film in. The moment you took the camera and didn't point it at the subject, you know what they would do? They're like this when the camera's pointed at them. They don't know what to do. They're very uncomfortable. The moment you put the camera down, they go like this, and they wait for you. And then I'd be, oh, shit, that's what I want, right? So what I learned to do was fake it, and halfway through the roll, pretend I was out of film, put the camera down for a second, where they thought I was changing film, they go into that pose, and then I'm right back up, shoot, 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 okay? So I learned that what I call that now is shoot from the heart. And although this sounds tongue-in-cheek, this is really true. Try this at home with your kids and people who are very aware of what you're doing. You just launch your camera app. This is device neutral. And you just keep your thumb near wherever the shutter button is, and you just shoot like this. I'm shooting wonderful pictures right now. Nobody even knows. It's called shooting from the heart. Right? It is. It's what I'm doing. It's a very honest thing. Right? Shooting from the heart. Okay? I'm not kidding you. I have a 17-year-old daughter. Every time I went like this, she'd put on her, you guys call it like duck face or something. I'm like, no. That doesn't work for Dad. So now I'm just like this. I think I got Rob yesterday with a little straight from the heart, right? When we were out. So straight from the heart works really, really well. From the hip is the same kind of thing. You should never use your viewfinder anymore. You just get like this. You just shoot like this all the time, right? Many great photographers learn how to shoot without looking through the viewfinder, right? Oh my gosh, I had so many phone calls that never really happened. When I was on the street here, I had to be careful because I'm like, they're going to know I'm not talking to someone because... So you just get your phone ready again, you get your thumb ready. Fortunately, an iPhone lets you shoot with the volume button. So then I just walk down the street like this. And I'm shooting, yeah, I'll be home at 5, yep. And you're shooting, right? And so I think that might be the last, the bus stop. I've been on many journeys in my mind and never taken a single one. Because I want to know where a heart and soul of a city is. Like right here, just in the few hours I've had, in the last few days, it's definitely been around the university. There's no question. There's people, there's love, there's all kinds of people. And a lot of it happens around a bus stop because people are waiting. It's a great place to have conversations. I had 2 great, they were kind of pantomime conversations I was having with people, but great experiences here doing this kind of thing, hanging around where people are hanging out and waiting for a bus. So wonderful technique. Okay, know thyself and thy influences, right? This is gonna lead to something. It matters what you listen to and what you watch. Garbage in, garbage out, right? Garbage in, garbage out. My mind is so blown by what Wendy and Dan showed. I'm like, I need his book, I need he just fed my mind and blew my mind with all of these concepts. And I want you to think about that. Garbage in, garbage out, right? It matters the books you look at, the movies you watch, everything. All of these things matter, okay? Because style and authenticity develops through work, okay? It's important to know that it develops through work, okay? Why am I here? I'm here to get you to do what you love. It doesn't have to be mobile photography. It can be anything, right? I'm in love. I'm in love. And I know, because nobody gets out of the room alive. None of us do, right? And I know that when I die, they will bury me, right? I've already instructed my wife. We've done our will. They will bury me with whatever latest technological device, capturing device is like this. It probably won't resemble this. It'll probably be embedded in my eye by then, right? Whatever it is, because I know I'm committed to doing this. I'm in, as they say, right? And I know that, right? And this is another thing. Having been a storyteller in a time where the gatekeepers, right, were so strong, right? The publishers, right, only allowed certain people through the gates, right? Now, not to be an egomaniac, but just to state the truth, I have more followers on social media than many of the publications I worked for, right? And I can access a group of people and an audience like that. And I think there's something powerful to that. And I think that we have more of an opportunity to make a dent as storytellers than we've ever had before. And I think it's a powerful, powerful opportunity, right? It's all about how you decide to use it, right? But I think that it's there, right? I also think I found another secret. Dan can plug his ears because he's the only one in the room right now that I think this does not apply to. And this is the burden that I think a lot of us are carrying, this burden of resistance, but it's also a burden that keeps us inactive because we're afraid we can't create something original. Right? We feel that everything we do has to be original and nobody has ever done it before and I must make this thing that's going to blow away the entire world. And we carry that burden and it makes us afraid to create. It makes us afraid to take the first sketch, to write the first few words, right? To take the first few pictures. Right? I love this Pablo Neruda things. I don't believe in originality. It's just one more fetish made up by our time, which is speeding dizzily to its collapse, right? And this is the best ever. This is pasted for my students to see. It's pasted on my computer, right? If you want to make an apple pie from scratch, you must first invent the entire universe. We are standing on giants, is what we're doing, okay? And Dan would be happy if 10, 15, 20 people in this room stood on his shoulders in some way. And Wendy and anybody here would be happy to have that happen, right? So don't let that hold you back. Everybody gives this quote to Pablo Picasso, like steal like an artist. He never said it, right? It was actually T.S. Eliot who said this, right? And he said it in a way that doesn't sound like advertising, right? He actually said it in a more mature, meaningful, long-form way. Right? Which I love, right? Immature poets imitate, mature poets steal. And really what he means, if I'm to interpret T.S. Eliot, is that don't steal the style, right? Steal the thinking behind the style, right? The thinking behind what you're inspired by, right? We copy, we transform, we combine. Right, what we're doing. And my wish for you today here, right? Remember this scene from Pulp Fiction? Uma Thurman wakes up, not that you're in a drug-induced coma, but that you have that gasping kind of moment where things make just a little bit of sense for you, that give you that little spark that makes you want to create and go do the work that you feel, and I think we all feel you're meant to do, right? That's my wish for you, is to have that Uma Thurman moment, I'll call it, right? Okay, so I'm going to kind of slip through these, right? So don't think, just shoot. Stop thinking right now. The best thing you can do at the beginning, and this is stolen straight from Ira Glass, I'm attributing it so it's not really theft, is he says, do a lot of work. The best thing you can do is a lot of work. And if you want to be a better visual storyteller, there's no question. You don't have to buy film anymore, people. You can shoot 1 million photographs between here and the bathroom. There's a great picture on the internet that shows a picture of an astronaut. It says, went to the moon, took 1 picture. And then a person in a bathroom shooting themselves, went to the bathroom, took 200, right? I mean, maybe put a little thinking behind it, and at least point the camera outwards, but shoot a lot of pictures, right? This is if there's another message, which is kind of the same message, is we've got to silence the inner critic. That's what's holding you back from doing what you want to do. They're never going to leave. You can't kill the silent critic, right? The silent critic's always going to be there. The best you can do is kick him in a closet and close the door for a while, all right? It finds its way out. But silence the inner critic and be ready. Look, this is ready. This is ready. Dan is ready. People are ready. You should always be ready. You know all those nerdy photographers that have cameras right here? There was a reason Cartier-Bresson is the best photographer that ever lived, because his camera lived right here his whole career. It's okay to be a little nerd. It's okay to be a little nerdy, okay? They sell these. They're very cheap. You can make your own, right? They fit all devices. Be ready. This is just a picture of my dog. I walk with my dog, and he loves to jump for stuff in the weeds. I don't know what he's jumping for. But you know what? For me, this was practice. Can I capture? Can I get that, right? And then one day, right, he's standing, a little bird comes up. I am ready. I am always ready, right? Always ready. And then I'm running around the lake. No, this is real. I took him around the lake. I normally walk him in the woods, and I took him around a large city center, and I was jogging, and like this, and I jog with my phone in my hand, just like this, for real. And I had to tie my shoe, and I go down to tie my shoe, and I look over, and Vincent is stressed. That's what dogs do. And he starts yawning. Yeah, I know, I love that name, Vincent. It came from Lost, the dog on Lost. Anyway, and I'm like, oh my God, Vincent's gonna eat the gondola. This is amazing, right? And I think to this day, although I wish my more serious photographs were my most liked on Instagram, but this like tends to be it. But without being ready, I wouldn't have this, right? You've got to always be ready, all the time. Phonography is hard work, okay? It's not hard to do. Shit, you just tap on the screen. That's easy, right? But it's hard work. You have to do it, right? You have to actually get the work done, okay? This is what I love, and most photographers don't think about this. When photography started, it was a freaking box with a tiny hole. There were no shutter speeds and apertures and ISO and all of this crap, right? And I love that that's what we've gone down to, really. We've come back full circle. A phone now, any of you even who have shot pictures who are not photographer, even know what ISO is? No, you don't, right? Well, some of you are photographers. I'm talking non-photographers. Of course you don't. But if you ever wanted to take a picture before this was invented, you would have to know what ISO meant, right? So it's gone back to something very simple, which I love and I'm happy with. But this is the key. This is it. I'm not kidding you. Sit at your breakfast table. I challenge some of you to go out this evening to find one day this week while this conference is going to be on you for a little while, and then it's going to wash off, just to let you know, right? While it's still on you, right? Watch light. Give me 15 minutes of your life and sit down somewhere and just look at the light. Where's the light? What's lighting this, right? And if you're even bolder, stand up, pick an object, a fruit bowl, and walk around that light. This is no different than what Jackie said about adding details, right, into what you're talking, into what you're writing. Well, as a photographer, you need to notice details as well and not write them down, but photograph them. It's all about the light. That's it. Okay, without light, there is no photography, no matter what the device is. right? So light is really the key, right? Technical proficiency is overrated. It's the power of observation that is the most important thing you can do. That uses your brain more than any kind of combination of apertures and shutter speeds. Observe things, look at them. Don't look at life like you look at the internet. New tab, new Facebook. That's what we do. Look, stare, be creepy. I stare at people all the time, and I just stare, and I stare. And like Wendy said, you have to get really good social, hey, whatever, thumbs up. You do, but look at things that interest you for a long time. At least 1 or 2 seconds more than you normally would. I think it's very important, right? I love the whole thing about the best advice was to put things in a journal. It's the same thing as a photographer. I don't think we'll ever get away from how powerful it is to put pen to paper. You know what that is? That's walking up to the cave wall and spitting the paint out to make our mark. I mean, it's that primal, I believe, right? And write little things down. Oh my God, I just saw the best shaft of light near the university at Victory Square. Boom, come back at 4:30 some other day. And I did that actually, right? It's not the greatest picture in the world, but I saw a tiny patch of light one day. And I'm like, and it wasn't the right time, there was no one taking that bus, but I wrote it down in my journal. I said, one day I'm gonna remember this, And one day, just one guy walked with some white tennis shoes, and it happened for me. Again, not normally something I would show, except as an illustration of the practice, right? See if you can do this. I promise you can't do this, because you're not committed enough. And turn this exercise upside down for writing, or for whatever it is that you do. See if you can go one day every time I say your heart tells you to shoot a picture or to write something down. Every time. Right? That's the only way to really kill the inner critic or to really silence them, is to honor that impulse that you have to create. I'm a photographer. Do you know how many pictures of raindrops on windows that I have? Like 1 million. Why would I ever? I'm 45 years old, and I've been shooting photographs for 25 years. Why would I ever take that picture? My heart told me to. Why not? All right, there's nothing wrong with it. And then a woman comes, and she comes in the rain, and she goes like that. I was kind of ready to get it, waiting for my daughter, the one day I did pick her up from school, right? And she gets in the car, and you can't see it so much. She gets in the car, she's in the foreground, and somebody walks by with an umbrella. Not that it's a great picture, but it's an example of honoring that impulse, which is, I think, important. Listen, don't crop zoom with your feet. If you ever crop or zoom in with a mobile phone, you're just doing it wrong. It's absolutely just, you can't. You have to get close. It's also back to that thing Robert Capa said, which I'm also going to interpret. He said, if your pictures aren't good enough, you're not close enough. I don't think he meant I think he meant physically, but I also think he meant in a way that connects you with the story that you're doing. Be close to the story, right? Be invested, right? Get close to the subject matter and the subject, right? Try 20 different images of one thing from a different angle. So you've decided to take Koci up on his looking at light for 15 minutes on the apples on your table. Well, take 20 different pictures of that object from different angles. Your life will never be the same. I mean that. We don't look enough at the world, the physical, real world around us. We look more at pixels on a screen, right? And we need to look at the world around us. This is a wall in San Francisco, right? Near 5th and Mission. And I just hang out at that wall, right? All day, and just letting life go past the wall, just to see what I see, right? And you can do this, right? And you have to know what you want to see before you can see it, right? You have to have a goal in order to score, right? Good football analogy. Oh my God, I said football, not soccer. Good for me. I can't believe that. That is good for an American. That's quite an achievement, right? I don't know what it is. I'm sure I'm going to have to go on the couch for it, as we call it. I'm going to have to have some psychoanalysis about this. I love men in hats. If there is a man in a hat, and the two that exist here in Bucharest, I already found them. I did. I will hunt that man. It can be a woman too. I will hunt them down and I will take a picture of them. I know that's what I want. And guess what? Magically, this is very Berkeley, new agey of me, people all around me are in hats. It's true. I think it's some kind of law of the universe. The more you put energy towards something, like Wendy said, exactly what Wendy said, the call she gets the next day, right? So, look, hey, there they are. Right? Can't get away from them. They're everywhere, right? Everywhere, all the time, okay? Okay, so love your experiments as you would an ugly child. Listen, you've seen them on Facebook. You're like, oh, cute. No, babies, at first babies aren't that cute, right? And I'm a parent, I can say that, right? But there's gonna be some ugly children. You're gonna create some ugly things. Love those things, right? They're masterpieces. They're exactly what they're supposed to be. They're rough drafts, right? So be ready. You don't want to have your phone in your purse or your pocket or where it can't be. You want to honor that inner voice. You have to be ready, right? Okay. Master your tool and your creativity soars, period, right? And if you're not giving yourself assignments and deadlines, you're doing it wrong. You're not waiting for the phone to ring to give you an assignment or a deadline. You're giving yourself your own assignments and deadlines. Right? That's the best way to push yourself forward, right? Practice, practice, practice. Okay? Cartier-Bresson said your first 10,000 photographs are your worst. So I'm just trying to get to 10,001. And I was having a conversation with my friend over here, Catalin, and he said, yeah, but 10,000, those were in the film days. That was a lot when a roll of film was just like, 36 exposures. So he made the presentation. He said, well, it's really like your first 100,000, right? And I think that fits better with my philosophy of just shoot, right? So we're trying to get to 1,000, 100 and, 10, I didn't change the presentation, sorry. 10,001, right? Shoot a lot. But here's the key. Notice that second line. You haven't caught on to it yet. We don't need to see all of your ugly children. It's the lost art of the internet. It's called editing, and it's called brevity. You know one of the greatest short stories ever written? It's 6 words, right? I think it's attributed to Hemingway, but I don't think he didn't exactly say it. Another one of those, right? For sale, baby shoes, never worn. That's like an arrow straight through the heart, right? And make what you do, and I'm kind of specifically speaking to Instagram and images, right? Be a drop, a trickle, not a fire. Nobody wants to be washed down with a fire hose, right? So think about editing, right? It's actually a lot harder. I forget the quote about if I could have written a shorter letter kind of thing, but it's that same kind of idea. I think it's a lot harder to make a short documentary film than it is a feature-length documentary film. It's harder to edit because you've got to kill your darlings, as they say, right? So don't get attached to all those babies, even if you begin to see them as beautiful, right? Begin to edit and think about that, right? Shoot like the wind, as if tomorrow you'd be stricken blind. I mean, really. Or do what you do as if tomorrow you could not do it, right? I think it's really important. Don't be a hoarder. Give it away. Give all your secrets away. That's what the people here are doing. They're giving their secrets away, right? If you hold on to these things, you don't push yourself. When you give them away, you have no more secrets, and guess what? You've got to go look for new ones, right? You've got to go find new ones to hold on to for a little while before you let them go, right? Make strict rules. Today I'm gonna shoot with my phone. Today I'm just gonna do the color red. Today here my theme in Bucharest the other day was trying to just find love. What is love? Love, love, love. One, because it was speaking to me from the university, all these young people embraced and all that. But find something, a theme, if nothing, to practice with, right? Return to a place over and over and over again. There's a great movie, I can't remember what the name of it is, but Harvey Keitel is in it, and he's a photographer, I think, at a liquor store, and every day for like 30 years, he walks outside his liquor store and he just takes a quick picture of the street corner and he amasses this big photo album. But the way that things change and how you're forced to see things anew by returning over and over again. And guess what? The greatest stories are not in the other. They're in the here and now. They're where you are, right? You don't have to traipse around the world to find great stories, right? Follow the leader. Oh my gosh, I'm such a stalker, right? People don't know, but I will like, oh, you know, that person is going to lead me through the city. There have been many tour guides through Bucharest that had no idea they were my tour guide, right? And because sometimes it's good just to go and get lost, even in your own neighborhood. That person there in the red, I'm just going to follow, you know, at a decent distance so you don't look like a stalker, you know, and I'm just going to follow them and see where they take me, right? And I've gone to neighborhoods and places I never knew existed in my own backyard because, I mean, I tend to follow the man in the hat, but, you know, you can follow anybody. Great way to practice. I do this thing called step, step, step. I just sit at a bus stop and let people walk past me, and I try and capture every time their gait is like this, right? And then here, and I call it step, step, step. And it's just practice. But it gets you good at timing. That's all photography is. Photography is timing because you're trying to capture moments. Put on your headphones and let music be your guide. You'd be amazing to see the way your vision and your photographs change when you're listening to Radiohead versus Beyonce, or Beyonce versus Bach, right? Or whatever it is you love, right? Or sometimes because words and pictures are the greatest combination ever, I'll take a quote from somebody and kind of implant that in my mind and try and go out and make a picture of what that is. Okay, no latte foam, okay, and no food. Also, no emojis when you like something, and no just tapping you like it. Those days are over. If you're going to honor somebody with a real, true show of your appreciation, for heaven's sakes, say why you like it. It doesn't take you that long, right? Don't, two emojis that don't mean anything to anybody, right? Or awesome, good, love it. Those don't, no. Like, look, you can't read it, but I told my friend, oh my gosh, I love this, and I love how the light is, and no. The other thing is, it's a little secret, that's how you get more followers. That's how you engage people. You actually have a conversation with them. And the more you have real conversations with people, authentic conversations on this device, the more people interact. Right? So tell people why you like their work. And there's great features on many, many modern phones. I don't even type anymore. You know what I do? There's a little feature, especially on iPhones, I've seen them on other ones, where you just hit the little microphone icon in the corner and go, oh my God, I love this picture, I love the light, I love the composition, and then you hit stop and you hit send. And all of a sudden, 2 sentences are floating to some 16-year-old in Russia. Literally, I mean, what's happening around the world with photography, people who challenge that it's mostly crap are mostly right, but there's also some amazing things that happen, but I won't get on that soapbox, right? Okay, we're winding up here. This is it, because I'm sure I'm well over time, right? Yeah, a little. Okay, we're done. You learn not to give me the stage, right? Okay, just for today, right? You will bloom where you are planted, right? You will start even if you feel you are not ready. Okay? You will practice, I love these 2 words together more than anything, reckless abandon. That is awesome, right? Reckless, that's how you practice, with reckless abandon. Strengthen your vision by intensely looking at things, right? Show, I will shoot every time my heart tells me to. You will be unafraid, right? You will edit, please edit, for heaven's sakes, edit. I went to Vietnam and shot 600 pictures. I think this is the only one of 2 that people will ever see. And let others know how much you love their work. It's not so hard to make a comment to tell people how much you love their work. Feed your eye, right? Master your tools. Give yourself assignments and deadlines. Know that as you give to the world, so the world gives to you, right? Always be the beginner. I'm still a beginner. Steal like an artist. Just take that and stuff and run, right? And combine it and transform it. Do something today to get closer to your goal. Enjoy what is beautiful. make meaningful and beautiful things, enjoy, relax, and know when to give up and have a drink.